I got a hunger for money, I'm about to go get it. Hunger for money, I'm a bounty hunter.
This week on the Bedroom Talk Show, we are discussing why baby mamas cannot get along. This is a subject that we need to talk about and have an open dialogue with. With your host, Crystal J, featuring my son's sibling parents. I love them. You're going to get to know them. And this week, I brought back family therapist Terri Smith. Stay tuned. Hey, you guys. Welcome to the Bedroom Talk Show. It's your host, Crystal J. This week's episode is a little bit different. No professional. Can y'all hear me?
Now I can. No, now I can't hear you. Your mic on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So my mic is acting up, you guys. So I hope you guys can hear me. But welcome to the Bedroom Talk Show. I'm your host, Crystal J. If you didn't hear none of that spiel, we're gonna crank it back up. I met Kiki 3 years, maybe 4 years ago. And I asked to do this episode because I feel that within the Black community, we have so many baby mamas who don't want to get along or who don't even try to understand the other woman. And with me, I want to say she is awesome. When I first met her, she gave me some warnings, y'all. I just didn't believe it because I said maybe she just a bitter baby mama. First thing, baby mama tell you something, listen. But and hey everyone, I'm gonna just show your comments. Hey everyone. But like I said, I feel like this subject needed to be had. And I also brought back family therapist Terri Smith. So she will be on here in just a moment. The other 2 baby mothers could not make it, unfortunately, but that is okay. I have Kiki, and we're going to crank this on up. So Kiki, I'm going to give you the floor. Why do you think baby mamas should try to get along?
Sometimes there's still an area of, you said why they think they should get along?
Why should we get along?
Oh, it's all about the kids at the end of the day.
It is. And what gets me is I don't understand how people don't understand is about the kids. Like when I first met you, my whole intention, and I'm different. Whenever I like, it's a pre-made situation in my brain. So I'm gonna try to come in with respect, and I'm gonna try to understand and facts. I'm gonna try to understand where you come from, and I want to listen to you and see. Okay, this is what I'm the person around your kids. My name is Crystal, and I feel like I did that. I don't think he did a good job introducing us, but I feel like me and you did a good job of trying to understand each other and trying to make sure that I was gonna, be in their life. I feel like it's important that as a girlfriend, you come in with no drama. You come in with a blank canvas because the canvas already kind of painted. That's the best way I can describe it. But and then here go our therapist right here, you guys, Terri Smith. But Kiki, what would you about to say?
Oh, well, basically, at the end of the day, it is about the kids. And for me, as long as you good with my kids, then we good. That's it. Drama free.
Yeah,
Because
pretty
the
much.
catch on energy when there's like beef between two women that's in their lives, that they're gonna be able to catch up on that energy.
Yep. I'm learning that now. So I'm trying to like just long you treat my kid right, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. And that was my whole thing when I came into the situation with our baby daddy. Because he's our baby daddy now. So with our baby daddy. Miss Terry, you have anything you wanted to add? I know you've been listening.
I have. So one of the things that I wanted to share was that, it's difficult for specifically Black mothers to get along with each other. And there's a baby daddy in between. Because let's say, for instance, when you were dating y'all's baby daddy, I don't know if y'all, well, no, based on last week, y'all not dating. But, when y'all were dating, you could have been one of the women that was easily manipulated in terms of he could share, well, Jakeithia, she's full of drama, she this and this and this. And so now he's created this narrative for you without you even experiencing her. So when you have your experience with her, you already have this predisposition that she's going to be full of drama, that she's hating the relationship between you and baby daddy, and she's just going to be super negative. And so that creates this thought of, I have to be on guard all the time. And there's a lot of women that's like that, especially Black women, and so it's a fortunate thing that you and Jakeithia and the other two baby moms were able to, communicate with each other, and not allow baby daddy's experience with baby moms to create this narrative that just really would be negative for you. And I think that for moms in general, you're on high alert already because, you have this third person that has this history with your partner or ex-partner, or we'll just say, speaking in present tense, you have this person who has this relationship with, or had this relationship with, someone else, and he's all like, I'm not all the time, but a lot of times you have fathers out there who are like anti moms getting together, or anti girlfriend and baby mom getting together. Like, it's just like,
Oh, my baby daddy was like that. He was
yeah,
like that. He was anti, but that's not me. I'm around your kid. I want to know them. I wanted to have my number in case something happened. I want you to be able to call me, text me, whatever the case may be. It may be a weekend. He can't watch them, and I'm home. I can watch them. So I was against that. So
yeah.
he is like that. He was anti me getting along with him, and
Mm-hmm.
it's no shade on
And
his end, no hate, but he didn't want me to get along with him. And I
right, but
understand most of the time it's drama filled, but for me it wasn't. It was more about the kids than anything, and it still is about the kids.
so Crystal and Jakeithia, you know him better than I do, but think about why. Think about your experience with him, and think about why he was anti you guys getting along. What would you think that would be about?
Well, I don't know the ins and out of him not wanting us to like get along because I wasn't there to witness any conversations. I'm more of a, we have those talks about the kids. That's it. Not about what type of relationship I'm gonna have with whoever he's dating.
Mm.
Right.
So I wouldn't have known. It's just, oh, like some stuff that I may hear today, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Because again, I'm keeping it by my kid.
Right,
Exactly. I
right,
think and with me, I have no idea why it was like that, but I know a lot of guys that are like that. They don't want you to get along with their baby mama, and I don't understand it at all. Like, why won't you not want this blended family situation? Not even like us hanging out, going on vacations, whatever the case may be. Just a situation, an environment that the kids can grow up in and say, "Hey, I grew up in a loving home on both ends, and they both loved me, and I didn't see drama. I didn't hear stepmama or my daddy girlfriends talking bad about the other mom. Like, it's a lot of that. Like, I have a friend now. She can't stand the baby mama. They beef. I said, but your kids are gonna grow up in that environment, and I don't think that's healthy. And I don't understand why y'all just can't grow up and make it about the kids. I think it's a growth thing, like the comment said, it's a growth thing, and it's also about being mature. And unfortunately, I don't. You have to be mature enough to have your baby mamas, your girlfriends, whatever the case may be, to get along.
Well, let me say something real quick. Sometimes I don't think it's that they don't want you to get along with whoever they dating. It might not be that they're actually ready because they don't know how their interaction is gonna go. So they not ready yet. It's easier for a man to introduce his kids to whoever he dating because they kids. And like with my kids, long as you show them some love, they finna show you a whole bunch of love back. They not anti. But for it's like the man just looking at their side, they probably just not ready for what's gonna come about once they actually meet or
Right.
get along.
And that's a great point. One of the things that I was going to say is that you also have to take into consideration that a lot of Black families and white families too, but a lot of Black families, we are we have adjusted to dysfunction. We have what has been normal for us is actually abnormal. So let's think about his relationship, your like baby daddy's relationship with his parents. Are they a blended family? And if not, then he doesn't even know how to approach this situation. He doesn't know how to approach the situation. It's like, oh crap, I have baby mama number one, and then I have girlfriend, and I don't know how we're gonna get along because let's be honest, some men, they think that when they are out of a relationship that girl still has feelings for them. Like, I don't know what it is, I don't know what dope pipe you think that you got that you gonna have me feeling some kind of way, like stuck. But a lot of moms, or a lot of parents, they moved on, and so he's not, you're right, Jaquivia. I don't know how this is going to go. And I also I don't want them per se interacting with each other because I don't know what she's going to say to sabotage the relationship. So there's multiple factors
That's
here.
a great point.
There's multiple.
That's a great point, because he said something like that back then. Like, she may say something, and I grew up.
Right,
Okay,
right.
yeah.
And the relationship that he was in, like the man that he was when he was with Jaquithia, it may not have been the same man that he was when he was with you. There might have been some growth, and he might have felt like Jaquithia wasn't privileged to that. But from what I'm hearing, Jaquithia is not even on that. It's like, we're going to co-parent, and
Mm-hmm.
you're in a relationship with, she's going to come in respectfully, and she's going to share love with my kids, and my kids are going to give her love back. It's all about mutual respect, and a lot of men, because again, they automatically have these assumptions that women are Black and angry and aggressive, and she might be harboring feelings from you still, so she's going to sabotage this relationship, or she's going to be, whatever. Like, they don't want that interaction, or they're going to try, like what it sounds like he did, try to prep you, like, oh, she might say something, but the man that I was then, man that I am now, I've grown up, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But at the end of the day, that is what Black families are used to: dysfunction. You see it on TV, you see it on social media, you see it all the time. It's around you. So when you have women such as yourselves getting along and co-parenting within this blended situation, it's like everyone's like, wait, what? Why
Yep.
would you? There's not even a little bit of drama. Are you sure she's not talking about you to the other baby mamas?
Mm-mm.
They're expecting something. But that also goes back to my conversation of last week, that hurt people hurt people. So when someone is hurting and they're used to dysfunction within their relationships, they're going to project that onto y'all's relationship and try to put this in your thought of, well, is she talking about me? I don't know, and if you're again, if if I don't want to say strong, if you're not strong minded, as then, like you're minded or you're less than, but if you don't have that thought of, being conscious of who you are and the people that you interact yourself with, then you're going to fall right into that track because, again, people are used to dysfunction. What do you think, Jaquivia?
Um, I grew up in a household where there wasn't a lot of dysfunction, so I guess that's why I come with peace with everything, because like I'm not used to the bickering and the back and forth. Because yes, our family was blended. My oldest brother, he has a different dad, and my oldest sister has a different mom, but I never witnessed any issues.
Yeah. Yeah. But that also goes to speak to the type of, everybody goes through stuff, but it also goes to speak to the thought of, your family was worked diligently in making sure that you guys didn't grow up in chaos and feel like that was okay. And like that's always an issue that, people are not moms and dads are not conscious of the fact that their child is watching them. It doesn't matter how young they are. The smallest behaviors, that child is paying attention to that, and like you said, Crystal, you're allowing your child to grow up in dysfunction. You're allowing them to grow up in chaos and arguing and bickering and things like that. And they're not going to do anything but turn right back around and repeat that same behaviors, even if it's, like not immediately. When they go to school, they're going to think that it's okay to bicker with their teacher or bicker with their
Yep.
friends, because that's what they've seen their parents do.
It's a there is I believe that you are your product of like your environment. So whatever you see, you're gonna do that. And for me, I didn't grow up in dysfunction either. I have two parents. Me and my siblings have the same parents. So I didn't see a blended situation. I just felt like when I came into this situation it felt right to me to try to get along with her, try to get along with the other baby mom who couldn't be here, try to get along with Sequoia, and try to get along with the last one who was trying to come into our lives recently. I think it's very important that my son know his siblings and he's a part of their lives. I don't want him to grow up and say, "Oh, that's my sister. Why I never met her, or why I never spent time with her." I want him to experience that on my end. And I want to invite him to the parties and everything like that. So it was very important for me to make sure that my son sees love on all sides.
Mhm. And that's very very important. If you look at it, the sibling relationship is more than likely going to be the longest relationship you'll ever have. So making sure that starting young and have a strong foundation within that sibling relationship is really important because I mean I only have my dad. My mom passed away, and so my siblings in essence is all that I have besides my the family that I've created. But other than that, my siblings is all that I have, and so it's important for the sibling relationship to be, grounded at a younger age. So when that way, when they get older and they blossom into adults, those siblings will still be a part of that support system, especially when the parents are dead and gone. You should be able to rely on your siblings for that love and support, and that's really important. So I applaud you women for being able to get along, for you to, in essence, go against that stigma that baby mamas don't get along with each other. That's really important.
Thank you. And you know what's crazy? I don't understand why that's a thing. Like Kiki, I'm gonna tell them the story. So okay, it was she was dropping off the kids, and I was getting dressed to go to the Beyonce concert. And I forgot how I ended up in the car with her. I don't know if she said you can just ride with me because I was on Uber there. She said you can just ride with me. I got in the car with her. We went to the Beyonce concert together, but two different areas. And I met her. I know her best friend Candy. It was her best friend's cousin, and they was like, how y'all know?" She said, "That's my baby daddy's girlfriend." Then she was like, "That's different. That's weird." I said, why is that weird?" In my head, I said it. I didn't say it to her. And then, yeah, that is a little story right there in itself. It was funny, but we ended up having a good time. And we rolled back together. I had a great time. She had a great time too. But we went separately, but we went together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does.
She had floor seats.
I love Beyonce. I was like, you got nosebleed. I said, you don't understand. Once you go to one Beyonce concert, you're going to pay that money to go to the floor. I'm sorry. I love Beyonce.
Really? That's a conversation. I went to my first Beyonce concert, and it was definitely a beautiful experience. But the way that those ticket prices are,
They up there.
we're gonna have to do therapy like for half a year in order for me to afford that, because that was expensive.
But I had it already in my account. I said, take swipe. Let's just get it. And you know what's crazy? I can call her now and have conversations. One moment I never really told her I appreciate it. I appreciate you. When I went through my breakup, she actually called me and checked on me. She literally called me and checked on me, and then I randomly went off the grid for a minute, and she would just randomly text me, "Hey, Chris, I just want to see how you doing. It's okay. It's time for you to boss up." She would say encouraging things to me when I went through that breakup with our baby daddy. And she was like super like, and she's still the same person. She was super caring, super loving. I can call her right now and we can talk about anything. Like, that's just our bond. Like, I can literally call her and be like, hey, can I get the kids this weekend? And she will let me get them. So I don't know. I really love our bond. And that's what all of them. The other one, like I said, she's new. I'm trying to get to know her. But I love our bond. I love my bond with all of them. But I especially love my bond with Kiki the most, because she really did check on me when I went through that situation, that entanglement.
You were in a relationship. Not an entanglement.
Same thing. Entanglement means situation. So that's what it means.
You were in a situation. You were in a relationship because you were hurting. You were hurting.
But I still appreciate you being there and checking on me. Even when I got my car, she checked on. She told me congratulations. When I got my license, he was having a good time. When I got my license, she texted me congratulations. Now you can just get up and drive. She has always been encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the goofy one, clearly. But she had always been encouraging and loving. And I really love that about her.
Why do you well, I have two questions. So
I'm just coming out.
Well, I have three. So the first one is there's three baby mamas, or there's four?
You can say it's four. We have to get to know the fourth one.
Okay.
It's four in all. It's three. It's three of us. We all get along. We all know each other. We talk to each other. The fourth one, she's coming into. She's trying to come into. I don't want to say circle or clique because that sounds crazy, but she's trying to get to know us because she wants her daughter to be a part of our lives. So we're working. Well, I'm working on that. I can't speak for the other two, but I'm currently working on that. I just been busy. I haven't had time to go by there and have my son meet his sister. That's the only sister he hasn't met. So I'm currently working on that on my end. So.
Okay. I honestly just said, hey. That's it. I be in my own zone.
Do you think that the fourth baby mom?
We couldn't hear you. It went out. What did you say?
Do you think that it would be difficult to embrace the fourth baby mom, especially since you three already have a bond?
No, I don't see it hard at all. She reached out to me first, and I don't think it's gonna be hard because I think all three of us are already loving and caring, and it's already different for society because this is not normal in society standards. I think we all can embrace her. We just have to make sure that our kids are actually going to be a part of her daughter's life. I don't like one baby mom concern was she didn't want her child to go around her daughter and maybe you're in her child not it's irregular in a sense. That's the I'm trying to think of the verbiage to say. But I think it's not gonna be hard to embrace her.
Okay.
Because I've been trying on my end. You can ask Kiki and see what she says.
Um, I'm gonna say it's not gonna be hard to like get along, but for us like embracing and like being comforting, I don't know how that's gonna go because she's not actually in a relationship with him to where I see her very often where she's just with my kids every weekend, like they're with their dad every weekend, that type of thing. So I'm not gonna say it's gonna be hard to embrace. I think I'm saying it right. It's not gonna be hard to get along with her before it's like when I think about embracing somebody, I feel like that's more of an emotional connection when I think about embrace.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's gonna be hard for us to get along before the embracing. Yeah, that's gonna be hard because I don't see her like I've never seen her before at all, besides a picture. Let's put it like that.
Right.
So like for it's like embracing you, that's gonna be hard. I saw Krista on the regular. So
Yep,
and
and
we
we
had
talked.
we had those talks. So that was built up and they were in a relationship, so I saw her, but
Yeah,
I don't know her.
it's gonna be a process. It's gonna be a process, and what I heard saying, it's gonna be a process.
Mm-hmm.
Like we built it. Like she bought my son a baby shower gift. She was the first person to keep my son when I first had him. If I can have a break. She helped me breastfeed. She she has been there. So we have built this connection that may seem unnormal to most people who's currently watching. So
Well, I want to say this. So you were saying that you didn't want to use the label a clique or a group or anything like that. But what I hear is that you guys are a sisterhood, and the common factor is the unity between the siblings, between y'all's children. And I think that that is a beautiful thing that you have developed a sisterhood amongst the or in spite of the situation, and so in terms of this fourth baby mom, while I hear that it will be a process to embrace her and take her in, especially considering the fact that she's no longer in the relationship with baby daddy, what would be wrong with, like, well, of course, saying, hey, how about we go and do like a picnic in the park? And you guys come out, and of course, we wear masks and social distance, or however you want to do that. But you guys embrace her and then say, all right, so even though I know that you're new, and that this is maybe new to you, what are your thoughts about us being like a sisterhood, the fact that we all get along, we want to embrace you in, but I also want you to know, like, these are y'all standards. There's no drama, the siblings see each other, they spend time together. Is that a possibility, so that way she does feel embraced? Because when you have three that are strong as and thick as thieves, and then you bring in this fourth person, it kind of is like, it can get kind of weird, and someone will kind of be an outcast, and in essence, I kind of hear, not that it's not intentional, but I hear that you and Jakia are really close, and then you have baby the other baby mom who couldn't be here, and even though y'all close with each other, y'all are not as close as you and Jakeithia. So, you don't want anyone to be an outcast, so maybe have that conversation where all three of you, well, all four of you get together and just have that dialogue and spend time together. Like, is that a possibility?
I'm gonna let her take it first.
Both of y'all look
I
like,
okay, I'll be honest and say I'm not gonna initiate it, but you invite me, hey, can we do this? I'm there. But I'm not one to initiate things like okay. I don't like really make friends that well. So I'm not one of those that's gonna talk to you first. So if you don't reach out to me, I'm probably not gonna say nothing to you. Especially
Understood.
if I'm not seeing you constantly, because I'm always on go. So the last thing I really do be worried about at my age is building another friendship.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was funny, but I can answer that question. I'm normally the one to initiate everything. Um, I initiated the group chat. I initiate the conversations. So I initiated the fourth one coming in. And, as you say, sisterhood, I initiated it. Um, it's a process because I have invited her to my son's first birthday party. I invited her to my son christening. I bought a Christmas gift. Nothing, and the point is, she never came. But we have discussed that recently, and we have got to the bottom of why she never came to anything. So this is a new time around, and she initiated it this time because I was not going to initiate it this time. And we're going to see how that goes this time around. But I have tried on my end.
Would you? And if it's too much, do you mind?
Give me 1 second, y'all.
Okay. Well, until she returns, uh, do you think? Do you? Are you the first baby mom? Chiquita?
um, if okay, that so it's a complicated story.
Okay.
So but I'm gonna say no because okay, I don't want to get that deep in that story, but I'm gonna say no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say I'm not gonna say that either, but I'm just gonna say no. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm the second one.
Second. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm the fourth one. But that's complicated within itself. So
Right. Okay. Well, what I wanted to ask you, Crystal, is there a way for you to give a surface response to the question? And the question is, um, what was her reasoning for not coming to the event? And the reasoning why I'm asking is because going back to the beginning where I said, we're used to dysfunction. She knew that you guys existed, and she may have been accustomed to this dysfunction or this cattiness, especially based on whatever narrative he told her, whatever story he told her about all three of you, or four of you. That's his story, and he's sticking with it. And so now it's like, I gotta not deal with one, but I gotta deal with multiple baby mamas. Oh, and then she gonna invite me to stuff. Like, who she thinks she is gonna invite me to stuff? Like, I ain't coming to her son christening. I ain't coming to a birthday party. Like, and so I'm asking if you could give a surface response to that, because there's women that are out here that is watching this podcast, and they're either going through it, they are her, where it's like, I'm going to this because, or they are you, where it's like, I'm initiating and wanting them to have this relationship. And is there someone in this field who is there someone here who understands me? And you are it. You are she. So is there a surface response on why she wouldn't allow
to
or what?
not go into too much detail, from my understanding when I talked to her 2 weeks ago, it was because our kid's father.
Oh,
That was her reasoning on not wanting to come to anything. And I told her that I felt hurt because I reached out you to come to so many events, so many things, and you never came. You never called. You always a no show. And I got to the point, like I told her, because I'm very blunt. I feel like I don't want to invite you to anything else, but because at this point it's pointless to invite you to anything if you're not going to come. And I'm telling I'm like my son, like he's 3 now, and he still haven't met his sister. So I feel like the conversation has to be have been had. Now we're in the process of seeing action and putting action behind our words. and we're in the process of, okay, how are we going to go forward? How are we going to create this environment for our kids?
Right.
Because her daughter don't go over there. So how are we going to create this?
Right. So I'm going to tell you what I see, and you tell me if I'm wrong. I see a loving person, and then you're also a loving mother, and then you're a loving co-parenting baby mama situation. But what I also see is that it is very, very important for your sibling, for all the siblings to grow up with each other, for all of y'all to get along. And so I see in you that it hurts that you are extending, in essence, this olive branch for her to be a part of, for her daughter to be a part of, and for her to kind of like distance herself. It's like, but why? Why would you do that? Knowing that what society has against us, as being baby mamas, and not just like being like just one baby mama, but having multiple baby mamas, why can't we get along with each other? And so what I see is that hurt you a lot, and so I being courageous enough
thank you.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
When you said that basically it was like his fault she wasn't around, at the end of the day, I feel like it's two sides to a story. You can easily tell me, well, it's his fault I didn't come around. You're a grown woman and you can make your own choices about things. So sometimes, especially when it's like kids involved, you're gonna have to step out on whatever that man is telling you and figure out things
For yourself.
on your own. Sometimes you ain't all on him. It's gonna be two sides to the story.
I agree with Kiki on that. I do feel like it's two sides to the story.
Right.
And I never fully understood the story then. I don't understand the story now. Only thing I care about is, like you said, I am very loving. I have a big heart. And I was hurt when I kept inviting her to things and she never came. It was, as like I told her, like I told her recently, it was pointless. It became to the point where it's pointless, and you can't be mad when our son's fault. Our baby daddies is posting pictures of all his kids minus your kid, because you're not giving him the opportunity for your child to be around. So that's just my view on that situation. But like, yeah.
Could a part of that story also be that she was not allowing herself or the baby to be a part of activities with the hope that she would be in daddy's good graces? Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain. So let's say, for instance, baby daddy has created this story of, all of y'all are bitter. Let's say one of y'all tricked him into having a baby, another one of y'all is not full of drama. So he's created these storylines for you, right? And so she is in this space of, well, maybe we can work this out, because I never wanted to be just a baby mama. I wanted to be the wife, or I wanted to be the person who maybe was like in a
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Right.
I don't think that was never the case with them. Mm-hmm. That was more the case with me. Mm-hmm. But since then, I have let that go. Because you are who you are, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
But with her, I don't know. That's a good question to ask her. I wish she was here to answer that. But I don't.
Another narrative could be that she was upset with him, that, because sometimes we misdirect our frustrations. So she could be upset with him, and because in essence y'all are tagged to him, it's like, well, screw all of them, like, don't invite me to crap. It's just gonna be me and my child, and that's it, that's all. But then you have these women of wisdom, or you have like a church mom, or you have, or even these awakenings where it's like, yeah, like, even though I'm upset with him, I'm misguiding frustrations because those siblings, those babies have nothing to do with it. And so
Nothing.
I have to make sure that my child has a relationship
Another one.
with, you know, their siblings. So that could be it too. Like you said, it'd be a beautiful thing if she would have been able to be here, but because she's not here, unfortunately, we have to just, come up with these scenarios of what potentially could be the reason why she was not involved. But I think that is really important for us to extend grace to her, or not me, because I'm not the baby mama, but but to extend grace. And that is like one thing that's like important, extending that grace. And I think that in your extension of grace, Crystal, you had that conversation with her and you let her know how you felt. And it was like, listen, in spite of whatever, our children still have to be a part of each other's lives, and we would love for you to join the sisterhood, for you to join the clan, but I'm not initiating that anymore. You have to do the work, and that's what
Pretty
I.
pretty much that's 100% right. I'm not gonna keep ascending an olive branch, and it's no point.
Right.
But I did want to, based on this comment, I shared it for people to read it. This is a great topic. I'm glad Black women are doing this to show Black women in positive light. I agree, that was the point, and I'm so happy that these two Black queens came in here to help me to discuss this topic. And I agree with this as well. Terri is on point, y'all. She is on point tonight. Like she's on fire. So that's why
Well,
I put her therapist information at the bottom so you guys can like book her, whatever, because she's gonna be my therapist very soon. So her information at the bottom if you want to book her.
so question for you, Jakithia, because I wanted to jump back to the point that you made, that women, like she has her own mind, and that she should step out of whatever it is that she was experiencing and in essence have a mind of her own. Why do you think women struggle with that? Because I know that she's not the only one.
Um, I think that's something just women have. It's what can I say? It's how we've been brought up. It's the ancestry. It's a whole history line of manipulation and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like this goes all the way back in like slavery, thinking that you're supposed to be something that somebody else is making you or making you believe instead of having like your own mind.
Right,
So
right.
that just goes like all the way back.
Yeah. That's very true. I can think of oh, I don't want to step on like religious folks' toes, but you're absolutely right that we were taught to not have a mind of our own. We were taught religion. We were taught, that this is what you should do. And that has carried on for generations up into the point where, maybe your grandmother, or some grandmas are young now, but them old grandmas, right? Like they have this created this lineage of, women are supposed to stay at home, take care of the kids, take care of the household, and if you're gonna work just a little bit, but you are the primary caretaker versus, we're not in those times anymore, and all of that comes from what we were trained to do. You think back to slavery, the house slave was in there taking care of these white folks' kids. They were in there, cooking and cleaning. And this is what Black women are trained to do, so I absolutely agree with you that, sometimes, especially when we get into relationships, and I even if speaking for myself, we get into these relationships and it's kind of like, we want to develop this happily ever after. This is the last person that I'm dating because I am over it. And, in that process, we I don't want to say we shift who we are. So even though we were strong, independent, whatever, we kind of lose sight of that, or we kind of lose that a little bit because we are trying to mesh with our partner's expectations and our partner's, what they want, and it takes for us to go through situations like this where you have a breakup, or for you to be another baby mom or whatever, for you to be like, the hell, like, this is not even who I am, like, I'm not even my normal self, and so if you could have any encouraging words for women like that, like, what would you say?
I guess I can go first. What I will say is it's about the kids. If you make it about the kids, you can never go wrong. If you just, okay, let's say hypothetically speaking, y'all don't like each other and she get pregnant, just make it about the kids, and I feel like you will never have any issues. That's just my personal opinion. But I came into a situation and I just instantly got along with all of them, and I ain't had no problems. But I know that's not everybody's reality, and I know that's very uncommon. And I'm not about to be naive and be like, "Oh, everybody can get along." I know that's not normal. Well, society's version of normal.
Right.
I can say when you stay focused on like just yourself, and you have the kids, that's like the kids are in a whole nother circle with like dad girlfriends and stuff, and just stay in your lane and focus on what you're supposed to be doing, like you'll get along with anybody he date. You focus on what you're doing for yourself, like you're gonna be so distracted with your own life, you ain't gonna have time to be mad about whatever they got going on.
Mm-hmm.
That part, and
That's
that's what she used to always tell me. Like, that's what she used to always tell me. Like, especially when I first started going through the breakup, she was there. Like she was there, and she would tell me stuff like that. Like, I used to call her just to cry and talk.
yeah.
Yep.
If I could give advice to any women or a woman that is in that situation, it would be to make sure that you don't lose sight of who you are and yourself while you're entangled in a relationship. Like, that is so important. It's really important for you to have those times to yourself. I think back prior to being a mom, my thing, like, even though I was in a relationship, my thing was to at least twice a month go to, what is it's Dip and Dab, but they've been closed, but it's a bring your own beverage, and I would paint by my damn self. I would go by myself twice a month to little bring your own beverage place and just paint and have those moments to myself. Stay focused and centered on what it is that I love, why I'm here, who I am as an individual, as a mother. Well, I wasn't a mother then, but as a woman, as a student, whatever, and stay focused. And when children come along, of course it's a little bit difficult, so I'm not going to be oblivious to the fact that who gonna watch this child while I take some time for myself. But maybe, if you're lucky, because right now my 2-year-old comes with me to the bathroom and she gets upset when I don't let her in, but maybe taking some time to, go into the bathroom by yourself, light some candles, do some intention work, manifestation work, for you to, take a bubble bath or something along those lines, where you are just staying focused and centered on who you are. And then I always encourage people to journal this process, this journey, because I can say for you two women, it didn't work out for you. It didn't work out. The relationship didn't work out. And I'm quite sure that the woman that you are today is not the woman that you were when you were in a relationship or a situationship with this dude, or baby daddy. So definitely, journal the process. And as you're going through this journal, like, damn, I'm so different. Oh, girl, you thought like that. Like, you're able to see how much you have grown and use your experiences as a testimony to someone else. And that, like, if I be honest, that was my whole point of, like, saying, hell yeah, I'll come back this week, because it's important for, me to encourage other women, especially Black women, to definitely have that
Thank
time
you.
of self-reflection and remembering who you are, because besides baby, besides boyfriend, whatever titles you have, you are still self. And if you are not self and conscious of who you are, you're going to be lost and you're not going to be happy.
Facts. That is true. And you just said something that I did. Right. It took me some time. I actually read my journal. I want to say a month ago or some time ago, and I read it, and I was like, "Damn, I'm not her no more." And I was like, "Oh my God!" Like I grew so much from then to now, and I'm still growing because growth don't stop.
It
You're
does.
still growing, and I'm still blossoming. But I just like, wow, I can't believe this stuff I went through. I can't believe what I was doing. I just can't believe it. And I was just like, wow. Just like last week we said self-worth, knowing your self-worth, me and you, Miss Terry. And I was like, I clearly didn't know my self-worth then. But because now that's for a session for me and you. But now, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Jakeepia, I have a question for you.
What's up?
You're like, girl, what you want?
Do
No,
I really give out that to me then?
no, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Um, do you feel like you have grown throughout your process? Like, how old is your child?
My oldest is 9, and then our youngest is 7. So I
Okay.
have 2.
Okay. And so through this process of this sisterhood that has developed, would you say that you have grown, not just as a mother, but as an individual, like as a Black woman? Do you think that you've grown any?
Um, of course, I've grown. I'm not gonna lie, I was not like with them,
Hmm.
but with him, I was I was I guess I say childish
Okay.
or angry, or maybe I was annoyed. I don't know, but I'm definitely totally different from what I used to be. I was one of those that's ready to like pull up and like explain to you why I'm feeling this way. But now I'm more of whatever.
What do you think shifted for you to be that way?
Um hmm prayer. um prayer, really. I prayed for that moment where I wouldn't get mad about something so small, and so it just prayer. I prayed on it all the time, like all the time, and he heard me, and now I'm at peace.
Good.
It's like, hey,
Good.
like you wouldn't have known at one point I felt some type of way about anything.
Hmm.
You wouldn't know at all. But yeah, I just prayed on it.
Right. Would
That
you
prayer gave me my growth.
Right. Would you say in that process that you also learned that you have no control over what he does or how he operates or functions as an individual, and that took a while for you to be like, damn, no matter how many times I pull up, no matter how many times I curse him out, say I'm gonna cut you up into little pieces, because that's what I tell my husband when he makes me upset. But we just but I'm just joking. But no, I do say that, but I just say that when I'm upset, and I'm just joking with him. Okay, it's making it seem
Yeah, but most definitely I came to the conclusion, me and him were just oil and water,
Mhm.
and we're never gonna see eye to eye. We're never gonna look at things the same.
Yeah,
And I've learned to accept that. I laid down with him. We made children. It is what it is. They're alive, well, and healthy, and everybody who he's brought around has loved them. I can't complain.
right. And that, I think that that's the most important part, though, is the fact that you have accepted that regardless, this is just how he's going to be, and that goes to, if and I mean this respectfully, but I also mean this honestly. And like anyone that I've ever worked with, they know that I keep it real. So I'm completely honest when I say this part, that it goes to show, for him to have the number of baby mamas that he has, it goes to speak volumes to the type of man that he is. And the fact that he is going to continuously behave in the way that he behaves until he's ready to change. And so no matter how many times, you get upset, or, he frustrates you, regardless, it's just like, you know what? This is just who he is. This is what I've stepped into, and I'm just gonna have to deal with it by putting boundaries in place, but deal with it where I am protecting my peace and my mental health. And that is accepting that I cannot control him. And that's another takeaway that I hope that the women that are listening, no matter what you say or do, you cannot control your partner, and he can't control you. The only thing that you have control over is yourself and your emotions. And because of that, it's really important for you to just accept that sometimes men are just gonna be D words, and that's it. And you just gonna have to deal and push forward, pull up boss moves, like just like you said, Jakeithia said to you, be a boss.
Yep.
It's time for you to get over it and move forward, press forward.
Move forward.
That's something that you gotta work on.
Right. Like I really wish that more baby mamas can get along, because sometimes it's better to talk to her versus my friends, because she been through it. She could tell me, man, I did this, I did that. So for me, and even the other one as well, it's helpful for me to call them, just talk to them about anything, because it helps me sometimes. And I just wish that it was more unity within the Black community, within baby mamas, but I know it's not. And I just think it's unfortunate, because I feel like we can grow so much better. And and when she said she prayed, it's something I manifested to get over that situation. And I just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. And to now, I don't even care. It's just irrelevant to me now. I just let it go, keep moving. So it's like when she said she prayed about it, I just manifested about it, and I just let it go, because exactly what you just said, he's gonna be who he's gonna be. Just leave it there and let him be who he's gonna be. I'm gonna be awesome mom, and I'm gonna boss up, and I'm gonna secure this bag, and I'm gonna keep leveling up to be a better person. So what she said, I agree. And you have some comments on here for you.
For me?
Yes, Miss Terry. She said she's most definitely going to book. She said she most definitely is going to book you. Area C say. That was a comment I wanted to read to you, because she said she's going to book you. So I've been having your stuff play at the bottom the whole time. So, and yes, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in with all the positive words I'm seeing. I just feel like this conversation was important to have, and I brought back Miss Terry because I think she is very good at what she does. I don't think she is very good at what she does, because last week she really, if you watched last week live, y'all see how she counseled me and she just read me. So I felt like it would be important to bring her back onto this subject, because this subject is really not talked about. Even when I was sharing, people was like, you really gonna talk about that? And I know a lot of people thought it was gonna be drama because how I worded it. I worded it like that for a reason, because it's clickbait. But when you came on, you didn't see no drama. You didn't see me and her arguing. You didn't see us fighting. It's a loving relationship with her. Like, I even asked her and the other baby mama as well, can we go on a trip once a year to like South Carolina or something like that? Or just, and I feel like that's something we're going to do in the future. But you clicked for the drama, I tricked you. That's all.
I definitely said, I told my best friend, I was like, I don't like the way she said that, but is the flyer cute?
It was clickbait. I should have told you. I should have called you and said,
You should have. I'm like, best friend, I don't like the way she worded it, but it could definitely be worded better. But it's it just sounds so ghetto and raunchy.
I know that
But
was. Now you
I
see
was
why
like, okay.
it's a
I
method
mean,
to my madness.
I understand it now, and I'm gonna make sure I tell my best friend, oh, this is why she did that. Because I was like, okay,
Tell
it's all
tell
right.
tell Candy, it was no drama when I did it. It was a lesson. See, you see, I know her best friend name. Tell Candy it wasn't like that. I know it wasn't like that. Yes,
Right.
it's called content.
It's
Yes.
content.
You know, I don't do this type of thing, so I'm just like,
I'm
okay.
looking at my YouTube
I'm
views.
like,
I'm laughing.
I'm
Yes,
like,
it's
I'm
content.
tagged in this. I'm not no like ghetto baby
No, you're
mama.
not
Please
ghetto at
don't.
all.
I'm
No.
like, please. I'm like, okay.
And you know what? I think it's also because I am, familiar with marketing that I knew what it was, but my husband was like, nah, the ghetto behind this, and you say you gonna be doing therapy on this, and I was like, no, not therapy, and he was like, no, you gonna probably have to do some therapy, but he was like, because they're gonna be arguing, and I said, I'm pretty sure they're not, but I know why she did it. Exactly, marketing strategy. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
You did
I'm
good.
sorry. I'm sorry. But I was gonna word it in a better way than I thought about it. I said, do people really want to see black women get along? Nope. So let me get them what they want. Wording. And then when they clicked on, the comments are hilarious because it's no drama within this at all. Not even on the other side. If we was to invite him, it's no drama on that side either.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. But I had to market it. Sorry. I love you though.
It's
I'm
cool.
sorry. I
It's
just had to
cool.
market it. That's
I
all.
I mean, I understand that. I'm just like, oh, okay. I ain't gonna question it. I don't have time to question it with him.
You could have texted me. You could have called me. I'd have been like, yeah, you know. And I would have been like, okay, this is what it's about. So, but no, no drama. Marketing strategy, like they said in the comments. Sorry. Because, yeah.
Um, going back to your comment of people don't want to see um black women getting along, especially like baby moms. Do you do you feel that one of the reasons why is because seeing drama and chaos gets them away from their life and what they have going on?
100%. Yes. Look at Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Everybody love and hip hop Atlanta. That's the one everybody care about the most. And New York came out first because it's full of drama. But when you watch it, it's full of black women fussing and arguing. It's nothing positive within that show. Even when they try to do a positive stage event, because it's staged, it's still drama in it. That's what Mona Scott is selling. She's selling drama. That's all she. So if you are, that's all you see on your Facebook, your YouTube, your Periscope, your TV. That is what you're used to. That is normal. That is what's normalized in society right now is drama and women not getting along, baby mamas not getting along. Even like the guy I talked to, he said, I don't understand the blended situation. It's weird. And that's another thing. It's weird to people because they don't see it often. And I'm like, how is it weird I get along with them? He said, I just find it very weird. I'm like, it's not weird. I think it's a beautiful thing that somebody has to spearhead or whatever the case may be for it can be that bond. And I just want my son to grow up and see that. I want him to see that, hey, you want to spend the night over at Kiki house, call her. It's okay. I want that for my child. I mean, it's unfortunate people don't want that, but hey. Oh, you say you don't watch it? Well, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop no more. But okay. But that's my comment to
Right,
what you just said.
right. How do you feel about black women like Mona Scott who sell out the black community for ratings and financial gain?
Oh, Kiki, you want to answer that before I answer that?
To be honest, the white people do it too.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
They do it too. So Why you getting mad at her for making her money off of it too?
Okay. Do you think white people do it too,
It's
but because
they do it too, but we don't speak on it.
we don't, or are do we not speak
I got a comment to what she just said. I got first. Okay, I
It's
agree
like
with.
we quick to say, oh, them black people ghetto, they doing this, they doing that, but white people do it too, and
Right.
they be making money off of it too. Homegirl want to make some money off of it too.
I
it's
think Mona Scott
I'm
is.
not saying it's right though. I'm not saying it's right, but
Well, I don't know. Okay. I feel like Mona Scott is securing the bag. That's number one. But what she just said is funny. Me and my best friend that talked about that. Like the new Netflix thing with the cuties. But what about TLC with the tiaras, the tiaras pageant thing, where they literally sell sex through these little white girls, but ain't nobody saying nothing about that. But as soon as it's black girls, everybody mad. And I understand both sides, but I just think Mona Scott's side is just securing the bag.
right.
I think she should create a show that's positive and show black women a positive light. But I don't think she would ever do that. I don't think her numbers will add up. I don't think her ratings will add up. Yeah.
Because it's all about ratings and politics. So the reason why I'm asking that is because you're absolutely right. There's Princess Tiana's Honey Boo Boo and Foo Foo and all the other stuff too. And white people act just as ghetto as black people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's disheartening when you are within a society that already shuns black people, and so it's kind of like, you know what, to secure my bag, I'm going to put my foot on your neck too, and I'm going to be a part of that shunning the black community. I'm going to be the one that also highlights the things that we do wrong. And I'm gonna make this money, and you're gonna act out, and we're gonna stage these positive interventions that we already know that it's not gonna work because it's for ratings. And when you look back on the mental health piece of it, right? So I used to watch Love and Hip Hop with my mom because that used to be like a guilty pleasure thing that I used to watch because that would help me deflect from my whatever stressor I had going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I noticed though is that a lot of these women struggle with mental health. Let's look at Tommy. Let's look at who else? What's the girl?
Jocelyn.
Yes, her too. But let's also look at Tamar Braxton. She almost committed suicide, and it's like, okay,
Yep.
look at how they're trying to paint me. I've never seen Braxton Family Values, but I can imagine that it's a lot of drama there, and that with any show, even when I wasn't watching that, I was watching MTV, and I guess she had some show that was going on where like if a hairstylist botched her hair or something like that, then they were going to confront, Tamar, and this person
It's
was
called Cast the Beautician. I watched that. I
see.
don't think it's drama. I like how they did it. I like how they try to educate the stylist and they try to teach the stylist this is what you did wrong. I don't think it's drama in that. It's only drama when they confront and that's it.
That's the part. And I was just gonna say, I've never watched it, but when you look at the trailer, it looks confrontational. And look
It
at who's
does.
behind it, Tamar. So it's like, oh, there she go. Cause I'll be honest, I was like, well, damn. I mean, they talked so bad about her on the real, and said that she was ghetto and all these other things. And then she
I
had
think the real is never mind.
a whole nother conversation for
That's a whole nother topic. The real is fake.
but but to see, like, the trailer makes it confrontational, and because it's Tamar, it's like, oh, for the Tamartian, or I gotta to jump in and watch it to support my
Mm-hmm.
and then you have those that like myself that's like, here go another damn show. And I'm glad that you educated me and informed me, like, okay, they take the time to educate the stylist, so there's a silver lining behind it.
It is.
But the politics of it is to show confrontation, to show drama.
But that's marketing too. Unfortunately, that's marketing. It's exactly what I did, but we don't have no notes or nothing. But it's marketing, unfortunately.
But that just goes to show that people gravitate towards
drama.
Drama, absolutely. And in my thought on the whole situation with Mona Scott, I don't know her. I wouldn't even care to know her. And the reason why I wouldn't care to know her, not be, for some women it'd be like, well, why not? Because she's making money, and if you were ever interested in being a part of TV, that could be something that she could be a great mentor for that. So there's that viewpoint of it. But then I would never sell out I will go as far as to say I would never sell my soul for ratings or for
me either.
Like me.
Never.
I couldn't.
I would never do it either. Like, let's say hypothetically speaking, Mona Scott was to contact me. I would tell her, in order for me to do my show on your platform, you have to understand I don't want no drama. Mm-hmm. And if you try to give me drama, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. My life,
I don't see it.
Right. My life is already full of drama. For the past couple of years, I've always said to my husband, oh, we should do like a YouTube or a podcast or something, because we have such a asymmetrical relationship. He's 19 years older than me. He's atheist. I'm not. He is, the way that he operates and functions is so different, but yet through all of our differences, we mesh so well. We get along so well. That's why I made the comment about cutting him up into a fish. Now, he would have laughed about that. I did see your face like, what the fuck did I just put on?
Because you didn't see both our faces. We was like, huh?
Right.
We was like, I ain't never told him I was gonna cut him up. I just showed him a receipt, like I did pay for this. I need help, but
that comes from. So I love horror movies, and so one of my favorite scary movies is Scream. And so in the beginning, he said, "You hang up this phone, and I'm gonna cut you open like a fish." And so ever since then, that is just my line that I just tell my husband, you do such and such, and I want to cut you open like a fish. And it comes from a scary movie. And just like other people, like they have their lines from, I don't know, Wizard of Oz and all that other stuff, that I always draw on scary movies for my tag. But nonetheless, the point is that I couldn't because, you want to allow, just like I think it was Ariel
Cisse.
Cisse. Yes. So sorry for messing that up. But just like what she said, thank you for the platform for you to show Black women in a positive light. That's so important. We are surrounded by dysfunction. We are surrounded by social injustice. We are surrounded by, crappy bosses who, have this thing of authority and treat us like crap, or underpay us, working for people who underpay us. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. On top of that, we're trying to adjust to this whole caring for our kids and working and doing this homeschooling thing. Like, there's so many things that are going on right now.
The homeschooling thing is a whole nother subject, and I don't even know how I'm going to do it.
Please listen. I done already said Harmony ain't in school, but we gonna soak up this 2-3-year-old thing that she got going on, because I just couldn't do the online thing. Like, my hats go off to y'all, and Jakeithia over there shaking her head like, yes, child.
She's a teacher, actually. She's a teacher.
Really?
She's a
teacher. Wow. So I mean, so you already know. So, like, there's just so many negative things going on in the world, and why is it that we can't create a platform for us to be each other's peace? Or of course be our own peace, but like for us to display positivity. And that is exactly what you've done tonight, is create
thank you so much.
It's positivity. And so, you don't want to have more negativity and chaos and drama added to your plate. Because if you actually pay attention to it, it feeds at your spirit and your soul. You know,
it does.
you are centered in drama and chaos, the more it eats at you, and it makes you feel depressed, and it makes you feel sad and stressed and anxious. So I commend you again just for creating such a platform for, there to be positivity, amongst all the chaos that's going on in the world. That's really important.
Oh, thank you. It was really important to me, and I didn't think she was gonna say yes. Honestly, I thought she was gonna tell me no. Just being honest, so I ain't even clicking that comment, but I thought she was gonna tell me no, y'all. I was
Jakeith?
like, I thought she was gonna tell me no. I
What?
did.
No, because I know I'm not gonna come out here with no drama. I don't do the drama on Facebook now. Back then, like high school, like right out of high school, it was like drama on social media. So, but I knew it was gonna be any drama, so I was just like, yeah, I can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I when I test the group chat, I was like, do you guys mind coming on my podcast in August 24th? And I was expecting both of them to say no, but unfortunately I don't have to work because we're not talking about the fourth one. Okay, remember she's not in the group chat. And I was like, I was waiting, and they text back yes. I was like, yay! But I didn't think they was gonna do it at first. I thought they was gonna tell me no,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy that Kiki came on this platform to show that Black women can get along and blended families can happen within our community. Because that's and the other one who couldn't make it. I'm happy she did say she would come. Actually, both of them. But of course, life happens, and I'm happy that they all agreed. And I'm just happy on my end that
Right.
that people was able to see this loving relationship here on live tonight.
Right. And definitely have a blended family regardless of socioeconomic status. That's important too, because even if I think about, like my dad, I have a stepmom, and I refer to her to other people as my lit mom, and just like myself, I'm a lit mom. I think we talked about that last week, but it's more so like we don't have to be rich, or have a certain amount of money for us to be a blended family. But you see that a lot when you think of Black families and blended families, you see, and there being like solidarity within that household or within, this family. It's because, they have money, so they have common sense, or they have this image to uphold or whatever. Versus, it's very rare, such as, you guys' family, where you guys are, I don't know y'all's economic status, but what I can say is that, regardless, you proven, like, listen, like, we don't have to be living in a mansion or, a 5-bedroom home in Buckhead or whatever. Like, we don't have to do that in order for us to get along. It's all about us having common sense and keeping the main focus on being about the children, because that is the primary focus. And so if you stay focused on that and nothing else, then regardless of whatever your status is, you'll be able to co-parent and have a blended family, just like everyone else, just like the white folks, or the rich folks. You can do it. It can happen. So that's my spiel. I'm done.
Kiki, do you have anything you want to add to this episode?
No, thanks for
No.
having me.
No, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you. Sorry, I'm always looking at my screen. I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate you accepting me then and accepting me and still continue to accept me now. I appreciate, and the other baby I'm still watching, I appreciate both of you guys as well. The one who I'm trying to get to know, let's continue to try. And with Sequoia, I appreciate you for also accepting me as well. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. I just appreciate. I didn't look at us as a sisterhood until you said it, but I guess I appreciate the sisterhood that we have built within ourselves.
I ain't call it that either.
Me either.
It was just like, we got the kids. That's it. We the
Yep.
mamas.
Yep. We're, we're,
Gotta
we're,
make it
we're we're
work.
team
That's
all.
it.
Yep. And like I said, I want to see her win. I want to see Sequoia win. Even the fourth one I'm the fourth one. The third one that we're trying to get to know. I want to see her
Say
win
her
too.
name.
I want to see everybody win. I don't know how to say it. So
I figured that was probably
Oh,
what
I thought,
was
okay, so I thought it was just my name you didn't know how to say. Okay, I thought it was just my name you didn't know how to
no,
say. Oh, okay.
no.
Cause
So
I'm like, stop saying third one. Like that's just fourth one. Stop giving us numbers.
it is numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the third one, I don't know how to say her name. I don't want to mess it up. So yeah. I know how to say Sequoia's name though.
Well, wouldn't she be the fifth one, not the third one?
Ain't no fifth one yet, thank God. So
I have two by him.
she has 2.
Mm-hmm.
The first one has 1. She the second one. The third one has 1. The fourth one is me. I have 1. No fifth baby mama. It's just 5 kids.
Okay.
Did you understand it or
Yeah, kind of. It was so. How old is this daughter?
which one?
For the third baby mama, how old is that daughter?
Got to be 5.
I thought that this was a toddler, like a newborn, fresh out the womb baby. Okay, see, no. I stand corrected, but I also stand very firm. And, ma'am, you've had this child for 5 years now, and for you to not have met your siblings, that's not okay. And let me just not get into that ass tonight. Okay, thank you. Because
I can't help but laugh at you.
I'm sorry, but the reason why I'm very upset is because that is 5 years that you have allowed your selfishness to disrupt the ability for these children to have a relationship. Like, that annoys me. Like, I'm really big and passionate about kids being together, and especially siblings. Like, that is so important. For me to not have my mom, and for me to only have my dad and my siblings, and that's it. Of course, like, I have aunties and stuff, like, but I'm closer to my siblings. For me to know that when my parents are gone, all I have is my siblings, and you took away 5 years for that baby to know her siblings, that is selfish as hell. And you don't get a pass. You don't get a pass from me. Grace my ass. Grace went out the window when year 1, year 2, year 3 went around and you didn't bring that baby around. That's not okay. That's not cool. That's selfish as hell. So for women like that, you need to get up out of your feelings, put on your big girl panties, and know that that man don't want you. He not gonna get back with you. He trash. He always gonna be trash. And you worry about your child. End story. I'm sorry, and I mean I understand that that's y'all's baby daddy, but to me, like I said, that speaks volumes on the fact that he has 4 baby moms and he is the way that he is. And granted, he may have, he may be having a relationship with them and getting them on the weekend or whatever the case may be. But what more do you contribute besides just weekend visits? Okay, right.
Well, I didn't want to get deep into that because
I didn't either.
I'm not gonna sit here and say like he's I'm not gonna sit here and say he's a deadbeat. He's not
Yeah,
active
he's not.
or anything. Like he definitely shows that he cares about them.
He
Like he
cares
does.
about the kids.
I've never sat here on a social media anything and bad mouth him to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that is true. I don't think none
I
of us
would
have.
I
None
would
of us have.
I would never do that. Like, I'm not the
Never.
perfect parent. He's not the perfect parent. So I would never do that.
I don't think
I agree with her. With my son, which everybody on my platform know that my son has autism. I think he's has finally accepted it. He has been trying to be very involved in that part. He does video chat his son during the week to make sure that he's a part of his son upbringing and stuff like that. He's randomly text me to ask me what new have I added to his diet since my son only eats like less than 5 things. So I think he's doing a good job on what he can do. I agree with you. I have never bashed him on social media. I have never bashed him to anyone. I actually don't bash him at all, despite what he thinks. Because he thinks I bash him, but I don't.
No, he's growing. I can say that. He's
He's growing.
growing.
He's maturing. He's getting better and better.
He's growing at his own pace.
mm-hmm.
So no, I'm not gonna sit here and bash him about anything because I grew at my own pace.
Grow at your own pace, and that's completely understandable. And I understand that, and I respect that. But I also take in consideration that your children are watching. So you have to do more than just random texts saying what's a part of the diet. You have to be as involved as though you were in that household, and I understand that there's a work schedule, and I understand that, there's multiple children, it's not just one, but there's always more that can be done, and that is just where I am just like, step up more, do more. There's always more that can be done, because, and especially as the kids get older, because the narrative that will be painted is my dad came around sometimes. Like, yeah, he might be sending these text messages and things now, but your son is I mean, of course your son is only 3, but like, your son is not going to be aware of these text messages. You see what I'm saying? All he's going to know is, oh, I saw my dad on the weekends. Well, did he come to, I'm saying recitals, like he's a, like, did he come?
Basketball games.
Yeah,
If
football games.
I feel like if I put him in sports, I feel like he will come. But I really don't want my son in sports.
Of
But
course, because
but because I feel like that's all I can care about sports. But I feel like if I put him in sports, he would come. I think he would be there cheering his son on. He loves he loves sports. Terry is a therapist that was here last week. That's I saw the comment. I just had to answer it, and her information is at the bottom of the screen. It's first man who just asked that question. And then no commercials tonight, no Q&A tonight. I just might ask that. No commercial, no Q&A. I think that's everything I've seen. If I miss it, I'm sorry. Sorry. It was questions for you. So and me and her. And I know me and her are not gonna do no Q&A. I can tell y'all that right now. Unless the Q&A is a positive Q&A, that's the only way I can see me and Kiki doing it.
Yeah, I don't do no.
If it's yeah, that's the only way me and Kiki would do a Q&A if it's positive. I'll be honest. Since y'all like the Q&As. So if y'all have questions for me and her, y'all can answer it, but make sure it's respectful and no drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to like go back and see what they saying, because I was looking at it, but I wasn't. I was listening to you and her, so I could be more engaged.
I do appreciate the fact that you both are on the same page in terms of like, oh no, Miss Terry, like, no, he not deadbeat. He alright, he okay. He doing a little bit better. I appreciate that. I always like when I stand, when I'm corrected, but I'm always gonna push for fathers to do more. That is, regardless of, even with my husband. My husband lives with our daughter. Do more. It's all about doing more, because there's always those moments where, that child is going to grow up, and that child is going to get into this space of identity and trying to figure out who they are. And you always want, and especially when you have girls, you are always going to want that child to have their dad there, like I can think about my childhood and how I was going through this identity crisis or going through these phases of identity of who I was. And I was starting to feel a certain way, and I didn't have my dad there. So when I got to the phase of figuring out identity, and then getting into high school, into dating, like, I don't know if every girl has it, but I sure through this phase where I was like, I don't like boys, I like girls, and whatever, and my mama set that real straight. You could like girls all you want to, and you be living outside, not in my house, you know. But had I had my dad there to be like, this is who you are, and it's okay, it's all right. For me to have my dad there, for me to tell me what to look for in a guy, what is acceptable, what's not acceptable, like, that's why dad should be there. You know what I'm saying? So I always say that dad should be a little bit more present than they think they should be, because them being there matters. Them being there really does matter a lot. Even thinking about my own lit daughter, when she and I had a conversation years ago, she was saying, there were times that my dad wasn't there and I needed him there, and let my husband tell her, he was like, what the hell, I always been here, what are you talking about? You see what? So that's my point, is that kids get to this phase in their life where they start to develop this thought of, my parent wasn't there during X amount of time or during X stage in my life, and I needed them to be there, and they weren't. So that's why I always say dads need to be more involved, and especially black dads, like, show up a little bit more than necessary. So that's just my spiel. I'm getting off my soapbox because I'm over it.
We laughing at you, but I do think me and Kiki are on the same page. I just let her go first because I was like, "What
Yeah,
y'all?"
cause you just like going there, I'm like, wait, ain't never
I was
said he was
like,
like
I was
just
like, wait,
like
I don't know,
turned out horrible.
and that's why
Or
she did it
deadbeat.
first.
Like,
Then I came after her.
I've never used that terminology to describe anything like that, because he has been around. Like, he's always been around. It's just like you were saying, like, be more present.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, being more. I agree with that. It's just being more present and being more involved. Especially with me dealing with what I go through, but I have learned to just, like Kiki told me, just fuck it and keep it moving. Like,
Right.
because me personally, me going through all these therapies with my child, it's a lot on me. I ain't gonna lie, and it's overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed most of the time. I just don't say anything. Don't come over here. And like my son just got naked, and I know he will walk over here.
And plop down like, hey, what's up?
Hey, he's like, hey, Facebook, not today, because he did that one time on live, and I had to like go back and watch that whole episode to make sure that he wasn't really on there. Like, oh, I did him like that, but I think he does a good job, but I do think he can do more about being involved. But I'm over that part now because it is what it is. I'm the mom, and moms sacrifice more, and moms do more. And even my parents being married, I see my mom sacrifice more than my dad, and that's just life. Women just we sacrifice and do more.
Because
Most of us. Let me say that for a single dad be in my inbox. Most of us. Let me correct myself.
yeah, I will say, and without knowing him, one thing that I can say, just based on patterns of behavior, is that he has his own stuff that he has to go through in order for him to and process, in order for him to be more present. So, in based off of what you're sharing, within his capacity, this is all that he can give for the man that he is right now, for the father that he is right now. And it sounds like there's some other things within himself that he hasn't dealt with. Like, who's to say that he's not struggling with, damn, I got 5 kids, fuck, and I ain't even 40 yet, or whatever, like, who's to say that he's not dealing with that, or who's to say that he's not dealing with, of course, there's the underlying issues that Black men deal with already, but like society, from society's standpoint and their contribution to it. But there's also like the childhood things that he hasn't probably dealt with or whatever. So I will extend him grace, in that terms of maybe that's the reason why he's not present. I'm always the kind of person that will say something and then take a step back and process it. So, and as I'm processing it, I'm saying, well, maybe that's the reason why he's not present, is that he thinks that this is the most that he can give for right now. Maybe he doesn't have the best job, and it might be stressful. We don't. But what I do know is that there's some other things that he has, underlying things that he has to process and work through, that's really important. And that's not just him, other Black fathers out here. Like, why do you think that there's so many absentee fathers? Because they haven't dealt with their shit. You have to deal with your stuff in order for you to step up and be present and be the father that you need to be. Not the father that you want to be, but the father that you need to be for your children, because no child ever asks to be brought here in this world.
Facts.
There's
I agree with that. No kid has to be brought here.
No.
Who knows what he's going through? But he's maturing, I guess.
Yeah.
In his own way, in his own time. He's maturing in his own way. And think about it. Women, we mature quicker than guys. So he may be a couple years behind me and Kiki, and because it takes them a long time to get to where we're going.
Right.
So on that point, I think he's maturing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, kudos to him. Now do better.
And you also said something like, who knows how he feel? He has 4 baby mamas, 5 kids, and he's not even 30 yet. So who knows how he feel? We don't know.
Yeah.
Like we don't know how he is mentally. That can have a toll on somebody mentally.
Absolutely.
But then again, you have to lay down with that person to create the baby. So you in my opinion, you pay a point in that. Yeah. So I'm not going. That's as deep as I'm gonna go on that. But who knows how he feel with having all of us plus the kids. Who knows? But that's up to him to try to find somebody like you and find a therapist to work through them issues and try to be a better person for himself. Then, because how can you be a better person if you're not a better person for yourself first? Then you focus on your kids. That's what I had to do to get back to where I am today. That's why y'all see me glowing, happy. I had to focus on me. I couldn't focus on my son. And I love my son. Everybody knows that I love my son. So he probably just had to focus on himself and not be on no woman. And it's funny because I'm saying the same thing she told me years ago. But I think he just need to focus on himself and not be on no woman and just really take care of himself mentally and make himself. I think he's a great person. I think he's funny. No. But I think he's a great person. But I just think he just need to focus on himself and be that happy person that he can be.
Yeah.
I feel like he has a lot of potential. He has a lot to give the world. Once he figure out where he want to get to the world, that's my opinion. But that's all I have to say. Because I don't never want to bash him. I haven't and I never will. So.
Yeah. Is he supportive of you guys getting along now? Now is he supportive?
He say that they my baby mamas too.
Yeah, I can understand that.
We don't talk about stuff like that, so I don't know.
Right. Well, when we was together, he used to say, "Well, those your baby mamas too." Remember, you used to call me, "Can a girl spend the night? Or can you have the girls this Saturday? I got something to do." And he didn't call him. I said, "Oh, sure." He'd be like, "Man, those your baby mamas. They your baby mamas too." And that was near the end of our relationship, and that's when he started to accept that we was getting along. That was like near the end of the tunnel.
Right. I can definitely see, just based off of y'all's body language, that you both had different experiences with him. Like I can see that your experience with him was more juvenile and playful and laid back, versus I feel like maybe he put Jakeithia through hell. And
I was in a longer relation. Like I was with him for
6 years.
Since like 2009.
Mm-hmm.
We broke up 2013. 2012,
Right.
I think. How old my baby? I don't know.
It was 6 years.
Yeah,
Kiki, how you forgot?
um, yeah. When we started talking, I think I started talking. It might have been 2008. I started talking to him.
But
I
he
don't
got
remember.
through hell though.
Yeah, we went through a lot. We went through a whole lot.
I can tell just based off of your body language. Like Crystal's experience with him was more so like, oh, he hurt me, I'm sad about it, and we went through stuff too, but the depth of the shit that he put you through, Jakeithia, is like a whole different level. And I think that is the reason why you were, like you said, you was gonna get, you got childish on him sometimes, because it's like, after all this shit you gonna put me through, really? And your body language is just like, yeah, I'm cool now though. It is. It's kind of
Yeah,
like,
but I also had to look at the fact. I also had to look at the fact that I can't say he put me through a whole lot of stuff because I had a choice to stay there and deal with that too. So I played a part in it as well. So I never have said, you put me through this, you did this to me. It was part of me too. I stayed there. I
yeah.
had the opportunity to walk out the door. I could get my kids and just go about my business, but I stayed there. So I play a part in that too. I never put the
Oh,
whole blame on him. I
abs-
accept it. It's
absolutely.
like, because I was one of those, I used to be like, I don't want a whole bunch of different last names in my house. Like, all us finna have the same last name. Yeah,
Ooh,
I wasn't
that
that.
was me.
So now, so
Yep.
now I got two hers in the render. And so, but that was
Yep.
never my idea. But,
Of course.
when you got a plan, God got another whole plan for you. So,
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Girl, you preaching.
And
Girl,
that,
you
that
preaching.
that is a whole different level of growth for you to say that I had an opportunity to step out and distance myself, or I chose to stay. Like, and there's an accountability piece that you had that took growth for you to get there. Because I'm quite sure that in that moment, during while you were going through, you probably didn't think like that. That probably wasn't your mindset until you started to grow and evolve and be like, you know what? I gotta roll in this too. So I'm just, but my point was just more so that I noticed that your experience with him was much different than Crystal. Even though he's the same guy, your experience with him was different. It was like a different layer, and that just goes kind of back to what I mentioned last week, where it's like we're in a relationship with someone and then we mold them to be a certain way for the next woman. And so you kind of molded him to be a certain way. And then by the time he got to Crystal, it was like, well, he ain't that bad. I hear what you saying, sis,
I
and
mean, I definitely saw
oh,
it because one girlfriend he had even before Crystal, she was living there and they was living together, but she had to pay no bills, and I was just like, I was mad at first, like, what? I ain't get that opportunity, but then I was thinking the other day, it was just like that was like a growth part of him, like, oh, let me try and see, can I handle this household? Let me see, can I be that provider?
yeah,
And so I look at it as a good thing. That's growth. That's good. Why was I mad? Why was you mad? Like, don't do that
yeah,
again.
yeah,
And you see this conversation like that's this normally us. And yeah, it's growth.
yeah. It definitely is growth. I hope the women who are your podcast, if they're going through something like this, that they are taking heed to the unintentional gems that are being dropped, in which you have to take accountability to your role in this situation. Everybody has individual roles, just kind of like what Crystal said. In spite of me knowing about these other baby moms, I still chose to be in a relationship with him, and
Yep.
I still chose to have this child with him,
Yep.
and I still chose to try to make it work. And even though I still chose that, it didn't work out, unfortunately. And
Facts.
I have to take ownership of my role in this, you know, because I had a choice. Everybody has choices. So that's
Amen.
just is that I hope that the women that are listening, that they can take from, you know, if anything that is shared, like, you have a role, and if it ain't working, you see that he ain't nothing, you know, or you feel that he ain't nothing, or whatever the case may be, then leave the relationship and do a lot of self-reflection and soul searching, you know.
I agree with you. I have to add what Kiki said. It took me a long time. It took me 2 years to get to I had to accept my role in that relationship. I at first I put all the blame on him. Then I started to think about, like, okay, I stayed, like, I did this, I did that. And I had to, like, really self-reflect on me as a person. And I really had to, like, go on a hiatus and figure out what it is, and just I really have to, like, that way. This is what started my self-love journey. You asked me that question last week. That is what started my self-love journey, because I needed to figure out some things about me. I kept putting the blame on him, and I needed to grow. So now I don't put the blame on him no more. It take two to play games. It take two to tango. It take two to have a kid. It take two. So for me, I know for a fact I have grown a lot. And yeah. I just agree with Kiki said. She been dropping some gems, like, some amazing gems. I hope people are taking notes, because people still watching. So I hope you're taking notes of what she been saying.
Zakithia, like, me?
I got a kid next to me.
Who is it, Chloe or Aaliyah?
Chloe.
Oh, it's Chloe? Oh, I thought it would be Aaliyah. Hey, Chloe.
Krista said hey.
I said hey back.
She can hear you.
Hey, Kristoff.
Hey. They do say my name wrong.
They'll never say Krista. They say Kristoff.
Kristoff. What is Kristoff? Kristoff.
Right.
What can we eat for dinner?
Okay, you guys. I know you hungry,
Okay,
Chloe.
I'm gonna
Do anybody have any questions? We about to wrap up this live, because I know she has to cook for the kids, get them ready for bed, all that good stuff.
Yes.
No?
I know they been here many times. So
Okay, so since nobody don't got no questions, because I'm looking at the comments. Somebody's DM me. Okay. Nothing important. Because sometimes people DM me because they don't like being on the screen. So I want to say thank you both for coming on this platform. I really appreciate you, Kiki, for being being open as you have on here. And you already know how I feel about you. So thank you so much. I want to thank you to other baby moms who couldn't be here as well. And Miss Terri, you want to add anything? Oh, somebody have a question. My bad. Okay, Juju have a question. I'm trying to ask a question. Go ahead. So I'm about to end it, but since he has a question for us, I'm gonna wait.
Is Juju a personal friend?
Bria is my best friend. Juju is her son's father.
Oh, okay.
That mean they're watching together. That's what they mean. They're watching the show together.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what his question about to be. He be asking me some good questions. So I don't know if it's gonna be directed to Kiki or you. I don't know who about to be directed at. So, but like I said, I really appreciate both of you guys coming on this platform. Miss Terri, I appreciate you coming back for 2 weeks in a row. I see I got you some bookings, girl, because I'm one of your clients. I'm most definitely one of your clients. And I seen some other comments. So like you better be busy on telehealth. Like you better be booked and busy. And that's a good way to be in 2020.
Of course.
Okay. Why do we call?
I personally don't use the term baby mamas. It's just being used just because it's on this platform. Like I said, I was looking crazy when I saw it on the flyer. Like, I wouldn't have heard it like that.
But I told her why it was. You find it disrespectful. And me and him had this conversation. That's why I knew it directed towards you. at the end of the day, society gonna always got baby mama. Like even, and this is how I feel about this word. When he first introduced me as his baby mama, me and him was together, and I was pissed, I think, or something like that. But I think it was a term. He was just playing. But at the end of the day, people are going to call you baby mama anyway. So it's just a word to me. I don't find it disrespectful. I do agree with what you said. We are black queens. But I feel like it's not how society look at us. So I hope I answer your question. But I'm his mother, his child. That's how I like to be referred to. But yeah. But I'm sorry, Kiki, I didn't mean to disrespect you. So any other
No, you weren't
questions?
disrespectful because people say it. I just don't say it. I don't be like, oh, I'm his baby mama. No, I'm the mother
It sounds so
of his
ghetto.
kids. I'm the
I hate
Yeah,
that.
I don't use it. I've never introduced myself like, oh yeah, I'm his baby mama.
I don't either, girl. Baby
But
mama.
honestly, most most people that I've met, like especially like on his side or whatever, nobody has ever like referred to me as his baby mama. Is hey Kiki. That's what it is. It's not. It's more of a personal thing. It's not a
Right.
oh you the baby mama. Hey baby mama. Oh you this.
Yeah, on his
It's
side,
never
they
been
don't do
a.
that. When I went over there to the party, me was at the party. They said, "Hey, Crystal. Hey, Kiki." Like they don't refer to us as that.
It's not, oh, that's his baby mama. It's always been, oh, that's Aaliyah and Chloe mama. It's never been that type of thing.
What I hear and what I think that, because his name was Juju, right?
Yeah.
So I think that maybe the point was, even though that, I understand that this is society's thought of you and that this is your platform, Crystal. And I know that it was for marketing strategy. Maybe his thought was to um go against the norm and refer to yourself as the mother of, in this situation, the mother of your, of the child versus baby mama, because it does, it does, when you read it, it does come off as the, but know that it was for marketing purposes, but maybe because you have this platform, and if I'm looking at it from a therapist perspective, not Terry the person, but Terry the therapist perspective, you have this platform where you have people that are watching you in years to come. People will still be able to click on this video and watch it. And with that being said, you want to use your platform in the positive by saying, I am the mother of his child, or I am the mother of so and so, versus saying I'm the baby mama. Like, use your platform for the purpose of highlighting and emphasizing your positives versus the negative condensation of the stigma of baby mama. Again, I understand the purpose of it, but when you're on the outside looking in, you have
You
some
were
people.
looking like okay, but no. Like always, I'm his son's mother. That's as far as I go. But and even he says that he said I'm his son's mother, and that's as far as we go.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
So with that being stated, was there any more questions, you guys? My cousin has just texted me, but she don't have a question. But I guess that's everything. But I'm your host, Crystal J.
I'm Terry.
And that was Kiki.
Oh wait,
And
this part I say my name. It's breaking up. It was breaking up. No, like, oh, this the part I say my name. You know.
but thank you guys for being on this platform. And thank you guys for being on the bedroom talk show. Don't come over here, Zachariah. I told y'all he keep coming up. Have him on social media looking like that. But thank you guys so much for coming.
No.
You're welcome.
And I'm assuming nobody else have no questions. I'm assuming everybody is done. If they do have questions, they can inbox me later. But thank you guys so much.